Alright. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Rad Movement on YouTube. It is I, Robbie Rapole. It is the Chad. It is
the Joker.
The Joker. Oh,
that's his gamer tag.
Oh,
the Joker.
So in the fun way that Chad sets things up, I don't know shit about Chase other than he's a cool dude. We've just gotten stoned together recently, and you know, are we allowed to say that in your life?
I mean, it is what it is. It'd be like that.
Be like that sometimes.
It's on video.
I'm gonna share that to the group chat. He said it.
So, one thing I do know about Chase is he's that guy that hates it be like that sometimes.
Yes. So if you listen to the podcast on Anchor, if you watch the videos, we say it sometimes so that I know he listens to the podcast. So I'll slip it in there just as a dig.
I'm that guy, yo.
So how did this come about? Like, because you made a whole song and all the things. So
no, I'll let you go.
Okay,
yeah.
so our friend Nasty, that's his gamer tag. It was. Now it's Amazon Prime.
I love that.
Yeah.
This dude's rad.
Yeah.
From Nasty to Amazon Prime. Fuck yeah.
So he has a set of phrases that he uses a lot. Like he has it be like that sometimes, which we've all kind of adopted, and we say that just to piss him off. And
so has it worn? It basically got worn out on you.
Yeah.
It
got worn.
He has that. He has the amount of disrespect, or what do you mean?
Dude, so weird.
I'm gonna make a shirt and just put all of his sayings on the shirt.
No, just make a line of shirts.
Yeah.
And like you can wear a different shirt every day of his life.
That would be
a lot of
shirts. Be
shirts.
epic.
Scoot closer to the mic because we only have the one mic.
Okay.
So that we pick you up on the audio.
I'm loud enough that I could be in the other room if the door's closed and the mic would get me, but not everyone has that ability to be such a loudmouth asshole. So,
you know, that's fine.
So, all right, you guys met on the Apex shit, right?
Well,
what is Apex?
Apex, it is a first
Is it a
person.
game?
It's a game.
Okay, I keep confusing it with like a platform.
No, it's a first person shooter battle.
Okay.
Yeah.
We met before Apex though. One of our friends, Onion, she's gonna listen. She hates that name because her gamer tag is like Onigiri, but if you look at it real quick, it looks like Onion Girl. So we always call her Onion. So she'll probably listen to this. So she started a Kick, which used to be a like Google Hangouts or Signal or something.
It's like a group chat. Almost.
For people who played Overwatch and shit. And
for the gaming process.
we met on there, and then the Kick eventually dissolved. I think they got rid of the Kick is gone altogether.
Right. Yeah.
So we set up a Discord. We just
kind of all faded off. And
so we have a Facebook message now. It's easier.
Oh yeah.
And there's like 6 of us, and we all play together. It's like, hey, who's going to be on tonight? And we'll all sit there and coordinate and play together.
But from what I understand, you also like imbibe a lot of the Rad Movement stuff and the Rad Think stuff, and like it kind of resonates with you on a personal level as well.
No, dude, it really does. It inspires me quite a bit. Like I said, like
Enunciate. You gotta talk louder.
How about them Colts? No, getting back on topic though, it's man, I'm at a still for words here.
Getting back on topic, I got nothing.
You've watched the Rad Movement things.
Yes.
There we go.
Back on track.
Bring it around town.
So you know, it inspired me because one of the episodes that I listened to was with Ethan Smith, the OCD instructor.
Love that one.
Or not instructor, sorry. That was
Advocate.
And it kind of made me think that there might be something there. When I haven't been fully diagnosed with it, I couldn't tell you. But anyways, all the stuff that you guys say and then podcasts really do kind of go with how I guess I see life as well.
Okay.
and how I've kind of lived through some of those instances myself. So that kind of makes me, I guess, like you guys say, there's people out there and whatnot.
You're definitely not alone in the struggle. For sure.
Yeah, so you're not alone and whatnot, and it's hard to hear that sometimes when you haven't heard it, enough, beforehand. But
Like, it's like after you watch the OCD, when you message me, it's like all this stuff kind of fits in with how I feel. So I think I might have OCD. And like, from there, even you can go onto the IOCDF and find a therapist or something, or a group therapy near you. Yeah. And you've gone through some of the channels. You haven't gone to the therapist yet, but you've talked to figuring one out.
Yeah, I've talked to a few. I was recommended by one of my doctors who gave me a list of I think like 8 therapists and whatnot. Got in contact with a couple, and just right now just kind of seeing how things go over the phone and whatnot before I take the extra step, because who knows how much it could cost an hour to be sitting in front of them. So that's one thing I'm trying to look into, but at the same time
it's a hard step to take.
Yeah, it's a big step to take.
Well, admitting that you need therapy is like so taboo. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And
especially in the U.S.
Oh yeah, and the toxic masculinity that's been thrown around everywhere. We were grown up, not to have emotions, not to feel like a sissy or like a girl. You're a man. You don't cry, and it's like, the fuck do you mean? So like, and then when you're sitting there crying by yourself, wondering what the fuck is wrong with me, it's like, oh, wait a second, this is normal, and
so to kind of figure things out. And
yeah, you feel less crazy. You feel like you've been gaslighted your whole life. Wait, I'm allowed to feel this way.
Like, especially me in my elementary school. I think I've touched on it a little bit. Like me in my elementary school life, where I was suffering from PTSD from the surgeries, and I had wicked OCD. I'd sit there and just break down in class.
Right.
And the other kids are like, "The fuck's wrong with you?"
Yeah. You're weird, kid. And you're like, no, I don't know what is going on.
Process my own brain.
And kids can be really hard.
They're assholes.
And then it gets even worse as those kids that never got the love and the treatment and the care that they needed. Those bullies turn out to be grown-ups. And it's like, and it's a very weird weird life that you live in, because then you see those people acting in public the way that you were told to act, and then you're like, well, do they have it right? And it's very confusing. Life is confusing. So
life is a question,
dude,
that nobody can answer but yourself.
Ain't it though?
Yeah, I mean, the purpose of life is finding your own happiness.
Is it?
Well, you can't create happiness. I mean, you have to find your own, what makes you happy.
Yeah.
What makes you
I feel like the point in life is like what you make it.
Yeah.
Because some people's happiness is in their misery in a weird way. So yeah, that was my challenge to that. But I mean,
in the same token, you said their happiness is being miserable, so they're still happy.
Right, exactly. So it was weird. So in doing acid one time, I did acid and cocaine the same day. That was a weird time.
That's a weird trip.
Very weird trip. I was in a very weird place in life. All right, it was post-divorce. I was dating someone who supposedly was getting divorced. Then I realized later they weren't really getting divorced. So I was in a very weird spot in my life. And I was in this fucking camper in the woods in Wisconsin.
Dude, that's killer to begin with, bro.
Right. It was pretty slick.
I'm already stoked.
So, and I remember my metric for where my hallucinogenic episode was, hey man, is that deer on the wall a hologram? And he's like, no. I'm like, yeah, it is now. So the whole day, and just to clarify, I do not advocate for doing recreational drugs in an unsafe manner. This was probably an unsafe manner. I wasn't thinking with my whole entire heart and brain. I wasn't being my best self. Anyway.
I mean, you got an upper and a hallucinogenic.
And I'm not really an upper guy, dude. Like, cocaine isn't my game. It's not fun for me, but it was a weird point in life where I was like, sure, why not?
It's rough.
Oh, dude, it was a wild ride. And so 2 weird things happened to me that night. One, I actually stepped on a fucking shovel that came and smacked me in the face like a cartoon. Dude, it was totally like a cartoon. Broke my glasses and all. It was really weird. But prior to that, and a better part of the evening, I was looking at the fire, and I was like, huh, nothing matters. And I had this like profound feeling of like nothing matters, but it's okay. Because nothing matters. And then, so I had a very similar moment watching my dad be driven away in the hearse. Because it was like, well, nothing matters except for what you fucking put on, like, and I've spoken about this in a number of the episodes and whatnot.
Pretty heavily last episode.
Yeah, and it was just really weird how, like, you know, I watched him driving away in the hearse, and, like, that was his last ride on this earth. And whatever he did prior to that point is all that mattered in his timeline. So nothing fucking matters except for what you make matter. Yeah. Or, you know, like, put a price tag on the things in life, you know, because that you're the only one that it matters to, you know, and like, and what matters to you, being a good person to others, being a good person to yourself, being an absolute piece of shit, being successful, you know, like, what matters to you is what gets you through your life. And that's a weird fucking head trip. So, you know, between cocaine and hallucinogens and my dad dying, you know, I've learned a lot about life.
I watched a good TikTok. I've gotten into TikTok. I don't post shit because I don't know what to do.
Dude, it's so weird. Like, you just do your own shit, but, like, it's hard to find what your own shit is. Like, I like TikTok. I like making TikToks, but now Instagram has Reels, so I'm like...
What's a TikTok?
It's really?
What's TikTok?
It's a social media platform.
I mean, I just videos. Vine, but...
It's Vine.
Oh.
It's Vine.
Basically Vine.
It's a more in-depth version of Vine. And, like, I feel like what's happened there is they're giving people the ability to get famous and, like, kind of capitalizing on that in some weird tinfoil hat wearing way. Like, I don't know what the whole conspiracy is, but making people famous to this degree and this comfort and ease, and then they, like, take it away from people. It's a very odd thing. Yeah, it's really weird.
Like, some of your videos will get, like, 80 views, some will get millions, and then you go back to, like, 100 or whatever. It's a weird up and down.
Yeah, and if your content doesn't appeal to the people properly, then you'll get that million views, but like nobody will follow you.
Yeah. Who in the world wants to be judged like that?
Oh God, it's so weird.
Who?
The next generation.
But at the same time, being somebody who's been marked famous, right? I wanted that shit growing up. I wanted to be rich and famous, right? I wanted to be well known. I wanted to be this and that. And then when I go to a convention and I get overwhelmed, I'm like, I can't even handle this in here. Why would I want this out in the real world? So like, fame is something that a lot of people desire, man. It's one of the, I mean, and to a degree, I'm pretty sure you guys have desired some level of fame, right? Like recognition, love, admiration. That's all like what fame is supposed to feel like. But it usually feels like an empty box that was wrapped real nice if you don't harness it properly. Yeah, I don't know. Our conversation's flying all over. I kind of like it.
No,
what I was going to say.
Groovy Tunes, my man.
What I was going to say is I watched a good Vine or a good TikTok.
Back out the rabbit hole.
But I watched a TikTok and it was a guy saying, you know, I went to a therapist and the therapist was like, "Why are you here?" He goes, "Well, I'm a good friend. I'm a good father. I'm a good husband. I'm a good person, but." I'm good, but I want to be great. And the therapist was like, okay, well, you said that you're a good father, you're a good husband, you're a good friend. What are you to you? You're good to your friends, you're good to your wife, you're good to your kid. What are you to yourself? And he broke down. He was like, I don't know who I am to me. It was like about his journey of finding himself.
Yeah. So, funny addendum to a journey on finding yourself. Moana is one of my favorite movies in the world. it's actually really cute that Donna also loves Moana, and when we were doing like the whole like preliminary phone calls thing, like we
I've never
realized,
seen it.
oh, it's such a good one. I'm a Disney junkie. I grew up watching Disney movies, and I do cartoon tattoos for a living. So,
Dude.
like, yeah, I love the Disney ones.
Mutant Ninja Turtles, man. That was my jams.
Yeah.
Honestly, Moana is probably one of the best newer Disney movies.
It definitely so. It hit me in a way because there's this one point where she's singing. I think she's like, "Who am I?" or some shit, and I'm like, "Ugh, fuck! I feel you, Ma. I don't know who I am, and now I'm crying." Like, but like, and that one and Inside Out.
That's a real good one.
Now
that one hits hard.
If I'm giving you any recommendation, Inside Out is the one.
Inside Out.
So Inside Out is my favorite cartoon of all time because it literally touches on the way the brain works.
Mm. It's a lot about mental health.
Yeah. So like it's inside of people's brain most of the movie.
Inside and Out. Okay.
Inside Out, yeah. And so, what is it? 5 characters?
There's anger. There's
joy.
There's fear,
sadness,
depression, and
sadness, depression.
I forget what the
rage,
disgust,
anger, right? No, disgust.
Disgust.
Yeah. And so like all of the characters act in their certain ways. Like at one point in time, depression, sadness is like fucking up the core memories and shit because she's all sad and stupid and boo-hoo and poor me. And like Joy's always running around trying to make everybody fucking happy because that's what Joy does. And then if it doesn't work, then she doesn't know what to do with herself. And then fucking Anger's just like flipping out over there. Disgust is just like getting disgusted at everything and pissed off. And dude, it's just so weird. And like to see them all like try to run the control panel of the brain of the child. But it was a child, but it was so fucking grown up and real. Dude, I'm telling you, it was one of the best. And they dress it up and childlike it and make it, silly and shit, but like to the core of it, it's one of the realest movies I've ever seen.
Dude,
and it
sounds
right. And it's so much about mental health, but it's a cartoon. And I feel like it's one of those movies that never got what it deserved up front, but it's got that cult following behind it because it's so transcendental as a film, like for people. Yeah, I loved it.
I think Frozen blew up and it shadowed everything.
And honestly, Frozen was another one, dude. I loved Frozen, man.
I liked the original Frozen. I thought it was really overrated, but I like the fact that they killed the trope of you find somebody, you love them, and you get married after 30 seconds.
Right. I like how they played with that.
I thought Frozen 2 was a lot better than Frozen 1.
See, Donna feels the same way. I feel very connected to Frozen just because it was like the familial, the sisters thing. So like that divide, I felt that, So I was like, this is painful. I like it. Let's sit in our misery, Because to the truth, everybody does enjoy a little bit of fucking misery sometimes.
I mean, that's why we have sad songs. Everybody likes to be sad sometimes.
Bro, what was it? Caitlin was asking me today. Caitlin's one of the tattoo apprentices. She was asking me today who was on the radio, and I was like, that's Bayside. And I didn't speak it up, but in my head I was like, that's some real good fucking sad teenager music. Like, I listened to the fuck out of Bayside when I was a sad 20-something-er. Good stuff.
And they have the whole emo genre, so I mean, everybody wants to be sad sometimes.
Yeah.
Dude, everybody loves being sad sometimes.
Yeah. I won't lie. I don't mind it.
Right?
I listen to sad music almost half the time, so...
Isn't it weird? Like, why? Like, why is it so happy to be so sad sometimes?
Dude,
it's like, even South Park touched on this. It was
Did
like,
they really?
Yeah, well, not so much the music, but like...
Yeah, but just being, like, happy being sad.
Yeah, when Stan goes goth, and then he goes emo, and then Butters he like, breaks up with his girlfriend, and Stan finds him crying in, like, the gutter. And it's like, oh, you can join us and be, like, wallow in your misery. He's like, well, I don't want to do that because I know... I'm so sad now because I know what joy can be, and I know I can find that again. So I'm not going to wallow in my misery. It just... I know that I can feel better because of this now.
Yeah.
That's powerful, right
That
there.
was fucking South Park.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Sometimes they get in there with it.
Dude.
But
it's crazy.
It's weird because, like, there's that part of us, like, all of us, like, okay, I know I can get through this, but, like, you have to, like, like break down the fucking brick wall of sadness first to get through. I'm gonna get through this, and that's the cool thing. That was Butters. Like,
yeah, it was fucking Butters.
He's a fucking moron. That's like Ralph Wiggum saying something profound. You know, and he does every so often.
Sometimes they do. They give him little gems.
Yeah, they do. Well, Silent Bob, only time he speaks is like brilliance. So, you know, but yeah, it's just interesting because you have to get past that brick wall. And that's the representation of where the Sad Boy Club was. They were at the brick wall and just chilling there drinking beers. You know, Butters like, no, man, I know there's something past this wall. I'm just going to... Give me a spoon, I'll carve through, you know, like, and it's weird because that's, you know, with the shit that I went through with my leg, a lot of people are like, oh man, you're so strong, and I'm like, no, I don't, misery hurts after a while, you know, like I can't be angry about it forever, and I mean, look at me now, I had the Butters mindset of I knew it was going to be better over there, and here the fuck we are over there. And now I wakeboard better than I did with 2 legs.
Dude.
With 2 natural legs.
You got some cojones, man. I won't with 2 legs.
Dude.
I will surf, but I will not wakeboard.
Bro, that fucking...
That's some gnarly shit.
That kicker that I hit in Orlando recently, like, I was afraid to hit that. But I was wakeboarding with, like, 20-year-olds. And they were like, oh, just hit that. It's lofty, man. Yeah, check it out. And I'm like... Well, yeah, all right. We got a camera here. Let's do it. And yeah, I guess, I don't realize I have balls. I just really wanted to do it. And
dude,
the kids talked me into it.
You couldn't talk me into that. Maybe $1,000, but that's about it. No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't be bribed. Dude, that's some gnarly stuff, bro.
Yeah, dude. And you know the funny thing is, surfing is hard for me. Like, I tried it. I'm not good at it.
I'm not coordinated enough to do something.
Dude,
I'm not great at it either.
And like I couldn't jump up very good from my belly to my feet. And now this thing's weird, but who knows, man? Maybe I could figure it out. Why not try it?
I mean, you talk about having cojones. Cora, we went to Disney like 2 weeks ago, I think. What was it? We went to Disney recently, and that kid rode Tower of Terror 3 times.
No shit.
Yeah,
dude, I love that.
Like, the first time I did it, I chickened out. I didn't do it. Like I told her, the first time I went on this ride, I chickened out.
No shit.
She went on it the first time. She's like, I'll hold you, but I'm going to go on it. And she went on it, and then we're walking past it again, like on one of our rounds. She's like, I want to do it again. Okay, let's go do it. And then the last time, I was like, okay, there's only a 10-minute wait. Do you want to go do it before we walk out? Yeah. I go, are you going to put your hands in the air this time? I might. And then as we get up, hands up, straight down.
Dude, that is literally my favorite ride of all time. That's probably my favorite scared feeling. Is the bottom falling out, which is weird because that's my least favorite feeling in real life.
Oh yeah.
You know, when the bottom falls out of your life, it really sucks.
Yeah, no, that's not a fun feeling at all.
Like, she was all about going on the Aerosmith coaster, but she was 2 inches too short. But I'm kind of glad because even I went on that ride and your head bounces around so much.
Yeah, I went on the Rip Ride Rocket in Universal. One of the funnest rides I've been on in a while. Man, I could not shake that belly. Like, dude, I get real bad, like, sick to my stomach easy when it comes to rides and shit. And like going on boats and stuff when it's real rough on the seas. I can't do it.
See, that doesn't bother me.
Really?
I grew up in the water, man. I'm a huge water boy.
Damn.
Jealous. All right, but I mean, dude, when it comes to those. Wow, back on track here, Chase. Come on now. Roller coasters and whatnot, man. The only thing I've really been to is like Six Flags, or not Six Flags,
King's Dominion.
Yeah, King's Dominion.
King's Island.
Yeah.
King's Island?
In Ohio, Cincinnati.
Oh, okay, we're thinking of King's Dominion in Virginia.
But that's about the only place I've gone. They've got some crazy stuff there, and
I want to take a second to brag about how awesome the new Star Wars thing is.
Yeah.
Because they had Smuggler's Run, which is the one that you can get on without having to get a virtual queue.
Okay.
Rise of the Resistance is amazing.
Really?
You have to get in on the virtual queue to even get in the line. And the queue only opens up in 2 windows, 7 a.m. and 1 p.m.
Really?
7 a.m. you don't have to be at the park, and those go out. Like, I logged in at 7, and I hit join queue, it was already gone. Those sell out in like 5 seconds, they're gone.
Wow.
So at 1 p.m. we're in Tower of Terror about to go up, the elevator shaft, and it's 1 p.m. I'm hitting the button, and I finally get on. Yes, we got it. Down. But we got on, and as you're walking through the line, I'm getting off track, but it's an amazing ride. As you're going through, you're walking through like a rebel base, and they have like shelves and shit of like the guns and the outfits, and you get to like the main waiting area, like how Haunted Mansion, you're all crowded into that room. It's like that kind of room.
Okay.
And BB-8's there, and then Ray, a hologram of Ray comes up, and she's telling you like, "Oh, we have to get you back to the rebel base. So you have this information." And the doors open up, and there's a ship there, and you walk into the ship, and it's supposed to transport you to the rebel base, and you don't think that it's going to move because it's just like a mobile ship. It doesn't look like it's going to go anywhere. You walk in, and then there's Admiral Akbar, and the screens all change like you're flying through space. You can feel the shuttle vibrating, but I didn't think it moved. And then you get like tractor beamed into an Imperial Star Killer or whatever. And then the doors open up, and when they open up, you're in the Star Destroyer, and there's like a whole line.
So you don't even realize you're moving.
You don't even realize you're
moving
moved.
the whole time.
Yeah, you moved the entire time, and then you're inside. You've gotten kidnapped by the First Order, and there's all these stormtroopers. It opens up to a wall of stormtroopers just standing there, and the officers get you, and they like pull you out, and they're in character, so they're dicks. And like, you need to get out of shit now. And then they let you take pictures, so you're sitting there taking pictures, and he's like, after you finish documenting your capture, you need to go to the jail cell. So they like rush you, they like push you into the jail cell, and then Kylo Ren comes up over the top of the railing, and he's sitting there giving you shit. And he's like, I'll come back to them, and then he leaves. And then the wall of the jail cell, you see like a red line coming up, like they're cutting through the side. And then, like, the resistance cuts the wall open, and they pull it out, and they throw it to the side, and they shove you in some carts. And you're in the cart going through the Star Destroyer, and you're running away from them. There's, like, stormtroopers fighting the resistance in the ship, and then you end up in the bridge, and Kylo Ren's doing his force moves and shoving the carts from side to side, because it's not on a track. It's, like, magnets or something. He's shoving you side to side. It's just, it's awesome. I got off track, but it's an amazing ride. Like...
So if I ever want to take this ride, I basically know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's amazing.
No thrill to that.
Yeah.
No thrill, but do it anyway.
He's like, I don't give a fuck. I'll go ahead and I'll spoiler the fuck out of this.
Yeah. There's some stuff I didn't mention, but it's amazing.
Good story, Chad.
Yeah, where were we getting with that?
I don't know. I wanted to talk about it.
Well, speaking of things I wanted to talk about, I don't think it's the first time that you've worn this.
No, it's not.
But I love that shirt.
It's okay to not be okay.
I love that shirt. You know, awesome. And one of my favorite people that I've ever met in the world, he gave me that saying, it's okay not to be okay. It's not okay to stay that way. And that one helped me in some really rough times. Love you, Robert. You're my man. But yeah, dude.
I love how you just did a complete 180.
I pour some for the homies.
Yeah, right. I mean, he's still alive, so you know that's a good thing.
Real.
Yeah,
I mean,
but yeah, dude, like it's one of those things, man. It's like when you catch something that's so simple, it's like wow, nice. You know,
it's odd.
It'd be like that sometimes.
For me, it's an odd feeling. It's a feeling that you don't know how to cope with, I guess, for me. I wouldn't say cope with.
No.
It doesn't.
I mean, that
strike me
fits.
as something that doesn't normally happen.
Yeah, because like when you're not okay, you're like, fuck. How do I get out of this? And to allow yourself to just not be okay.
It's weird when you feel okay, but you don't think you feel okay. That's kind of what goes through my head.
Explain it.
So, goodness gracious.
You're like when you think you're doing okay, but you're really not?
Well, so it's always, work, I guess, would be a good example. I'm always the type to do my best into anything that I do, 100%. And I make sure that there's no problems. Well, I mean, you know, there is going to be problems, obviously, but the best of my ability to make sure my job's done. And I could be doing the best job I could, and to my perspective, be perfect, I guess. Be organized, be ready for the next day and whatnot. So I guess where I'm going with this is goes, man, this is
We
bad.
have a lot of these moments in this episode.
No shit.
But
Okay, so perfectionist at work.
Yep, at work. And so realistically, it's yep, here we go again.
But what we were talking about, I'm just trying to get you there. I don't know where we're trying to get to. We were talking about thinking that you're okay, but not being okay. Maybe like trying to be perfect at work, and then when something isn't the way that you want it to be.
Yeah. So when I feel like I've done something, but there's always how I feel like I'm always second guessing myself. Is the point of the moment? Is there's always
So when you're okay, but you don't believe it.
Yes.
Okay, we got there.
Yeah. Like you're sitting there and you're like, no, I'm good, but
Yeah.
I might have diabetes.
Yeah.
And then you don't-
Yeah.
And you know what? That's an OCD thing. You're constant what if.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, the more you talk about these things.
Like, perfect example. You know, the other day when it stormed so bad, like it was terrible and the wind was so bad, that leak in the wall that I had.
Okay.
How I had fixed that, right? Well, it was raining so bad, it was raining sideways. It was hitting the wall and going up into the what the fuck are they called? Soffits.
Okay.
It was going up and around and coming down, and it wasn't a lot.
Right.
Like it was maybe a puddle like that big, but in my head I'm like, fuck. Now the wall's leaking. I fixed the part, and now it's leaking somewhere else. And in reality, it's because I just need to caulk it better. I need to go in there and caulk it again and be done. I'm sitting there calling my dad. It's fucking leaking again. What am I gonna do? He goes, I'll come out there this weekend. Don't worry about it. I put a napkin there to soak up any water that comes down. If it does come down, and he looked at it. He goes, it just came through the soffit. Just caulk it there. You're fine.
Yeah, dude, it's weird how often we do that. Like tattooers do this a lot, you know, where you do a fucking slick tattoo, right? And you know it's garbage, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's so good," but you know it's garbage.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, 6 months pass, and you're like, "Oh, that's a sweet dick tattoo. Who did that? Oh, I did that. Oh man." You know, and then a lot of the time, you know, somebody will be there and be like, "Don't you remember when you knew that was a garbage tattoo?" And you're like, "Yeah, but, you know, time." Time went by, and now I don't hate myself.
I love that Cora doesn't really have that at all.
Okay,
Like she'll draw whatever. Like she'll drew something, and she's like, "I'm gonna get that chase when he comes down." Okay, that's great. Or she'll sit there. Now she's doing her own videos. We haven't posted any of them yet, but she'll sit there and record herself around the house. She's like, "I want to post this online." Okay, all for it. No self consciousness. I'm fine.
You know, and let's document her and hope that she holds on to this, man. Like,
You know, it's so crazy that you can do that nowadays. Though.
Yeah.
I mean, like when we were kids. I mean, you guys were, you know.
Yeah, I was hurt. I was out on a hill with a fucking wooden sword hitting the tree.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
I didn't have that. I didn't have that opportunity. It was, getting your shit together and figuring out what to do and having fun.
There was no social media.
You fall down, you get the fuck back up and get back on that horse. You know?
right. So now does that play into some of the problems that we have nowadays? You know, like, well, so it's weird.
I mean, there's a whole new breed of problems with the kids that are on social media now, and they grew up with it.
Well, the young girls that want to get plastic surgery to look like Snapchat filters.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, you know. So yeah, it's weird. So the rabbit hole I was gonna go down was that whole, like carrying the things from your childhood that may not have been the right things, but that's a whole nother rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But yeah, the problem, and in the school, because like there's the problems, but then there's that childlike non-judgment of self that Cora has. Like, dude, I caught her making that joke earlier. I can't even remember what it was, but like
you guys were talking a lot. She's like blah blah blah.
Yeah, and I was like blah 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 to us, huh? And she's like, no, and it just gets to it. It's weird. Yeah.
She actually got like the award at school. Like they did like a graduation ceremony. They gave all these awards. She got the award for being like the most friendly kid in her class.
I mean, she will talk your ears off, and like I saw it even today. We entered the shop, and she was already talking. Like half the people that were around.
She has her hug buddies here, Alex and Caitlin.
Yeah,
even some of the customers too. She was just talking around, talking to them. Like, this This kid's got it.
That's one of the things I love about this day and age we have, because like I grew up in a tattoo shop, my son grew up in a tattoo shop, but not all kids get to grow up in tattoo shops. And I feel like the diversity that you're around in an environment like this, yeah, it's a little gruff and it's a little rough around the edges sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's fucking brilliant because you see so many sides of people and things. And when you have a kid like that who's just like, hi, and that person could be a recovering meth addict, or a meth addict at present time, and this kid is just like, hi, no judgment, all love. And that's really cool to see that ability to just communicate love and be a part of a stranger's life. Because, man, we all do really bad with being around strangers. Like, it takes a while to warm up,
I'm sure. I mean, it happens to everybody.
Yeah, but like kids, they have this thing.
Not with Cora. Like at Disney again, every line that we were in, she made a friend. Like we went on one ride. It was like the Frozen ride, the Elsa ride, and the kid behind her she was only like 3, but Cora sat there, playing with her. They kept the kid occupied. Mom was like, okay, cool, whatever. And then we went to the ride. She's like, can I ride with her? If her mom's okay with it. They sat together and they went down the ride themselves.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
She makes friends no matter where she goes.
Yeah, I was that way growing up a little bit. But I always hung out with the older folk and whatnot.
See, I hung out with the older folk too.
So I kind of grew up with, that kind of, I guess, manner and whatnot. And it's hard to click with some of the younger folk right now, I guess, for me, because there's not I don't know their language.
It's ever evolving.
We have our language, and they got their own.
It's ever evolving.
I always joke and say I'm hip with the kids. Like my son, he's 20, so I've gotten to see a lot of the things evolve with him. So he kind of keeps me up on game. My young tattooers and a couple of the apprentices are in their young ages, so like they keep me up on game. So it's kind of fun. Awesome. It's kind of fun to like have their language because I don't have it, but like I have enough of it to where like I can listen, I can interact.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like in this world I live in, like you kind of, I don't know, it serves you to be available to all the different walks of life because I talk to old people, amputees, young people, fucking sick people, well people, people of different races and backgrounds, and I love people from different places. It gives us so much to talk about. I love diversity, and that's why. And it's weird because that's why I didn't really speak to you much before the interview. Because when we were in the room, I had so much I wanted to but I wanted to put it on. I was like, all right.
Hey, it's all groovy tunes.
Yeah, the groovy tunes. They're gonna love it. But yeah, I like the idea of just being able to ask people about where they're from and who they are and what they do, and it just brings so much.
And that works. I keep setting you up on these blind date interviews.
I love it, dude. I love it because I'm not a Plannerton, so he texts me on the road, hey, you got anything for tomorrow? I'll be like, nah, I'll throw a video together soon. But the cool thing is when we do these blind interviews, it always works and it always clicks. And then when I do just one-on-one things, it's some shit I'm fucking going through. I did one from Puerto Rico, and I was like, I titled it Trouble in Paradise, because everything didn't go the way we thought it was going to go, and it's just weird, and life is fucking funny, and it always comes at the right time, at the right way. I was going through some weird shit in my life, and a homie hit me up one time, and he was like, bro, I'm going to tell you some shit that Tommy Chong told me about when he was in prison. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. And if Tommy Chong's figuring that shit out in prison, well, then I'm just going to go ahead and figure that shit out here and chill.
That's a huge step right there.
Dude,
so
fuck.
Before we go super off track, do you want to cut this here soon and then do a 10-minute extra for Anchor?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So if you're listening now, we're going to wrap this here. But if you want to hear the after conversation, hop over to anchor.fm/radthanks for the after party.
Yeah, and then we're like on Apple Music and Spotify.
Yeah, it's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. It's on everything pretty much.
He does the tech stuff. I just.
Not text them.
So anywhere you listen to podcasts, look up Rad Things. One word.
Yes, Rad Things on the podcasts. That's where you find them. Yeah. I'm still adjusting to the podcast stuff, like, because I it took me forever to get into the video stuff. So now I'm like, yeah, video, and I'm like, shit, podcast. It's easier now. I need to make time. So yeah, maybe we should do one about making time. Time management.
Time is a valuable asset.
Yeah.
In this world.
So it's funny. I did a tattoo on a dude yesterday, and it was a clock and some money roses, and it was like time is money. That's what like my life is about. But when we were tattooing, he told me, I think it was Sylvester Stallone in a video or an interview he saw recently. Because I was talking about like stressing myself out because I got a really good diet and exercise routine figured out, and it was like the whole lifestyle bit. It wasn't just like I'm on a diet. It's like I'm eating healthy to live better. Right. I'm going to the gym to live better, and I was telling him that I'm having a hard time on the road adjusting. Like I bought all these great meals, and then I bought a really expensive cooler, and then that ice still melts in the cooler and it turns into water and it got in all my food and fucked up my food.
That's
so
terrible.
Right. So I'm like, I'm doing great.
Yeah, that's a huge buzzkill. Man.
Yeah, dude, like a couple $100 in cooler and fucking food, and I'm like, But he said that Sylvester Stallone, in his older age now, says the one most valuable thing in the world is time. And he told me that, and he was like, so probably try not to stress so hard about like not eating and exercising all the time, maybe. And I'm like, shit.
How?
Yeah.
How?
Right, exactly. And so one of the last things, we were talking about emotions and things, and like it's okay not to be okay, and then feeling good but not feeling good and all that stuff. And we never really finished like the feeling good when you're not feeling good.
We went down rabbit holes left and
right.
So
the weird part about that is like, so I'm going to bring it back with something that I just spoke to. Someone who's not turned into, but like the experiences we've had, I've looked at as very mentory experiences.
An influence almost.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was such an influence to me until recently. And I just love that about this man. And he was talking to me about emotions, and he said they come from the Latin word meaning to move through. I don't know what the word is, but like going through, like moving through, like. Yeah. So it's just funny that emotions are like the word emotions are based on like letting it pass, and emotions, what you do is let them pass. Hence, it's okay not to be okay because you're not okay, and you have to allow that. And that's okay, and then that's how it passes. And that's one of the things with like the whole knowing you're murdering it, but still second guessing the fuck out of yourself. And it's weird because like all that is like you have to stop. You have to tell yourself no. Like no, I'm not going to allow this. Like I am fucking murdering it, and that's one of the things I do a lot. And like. Having apprentices and people that I help grow and mold and turn into better tattooers, humans, all the things that I've nurtured that people come to me for and shit, which is weird, right? Because like I've nurtured this like mentoring, motivational type of life and brain, and then when people come to me for that, I'm like,
it's hard to deal with it and whatnot.
It's hard to take that they view you as something other than a fucking moron, because that's what you're so used to viewing yourself as, right?
Yeah. Hey, so I felt that.
Right.
I know what you mean, man.
And it's weird because like, so I guess getting back to, when you're not feeling okay and you are okay, go to the things that remind you and reinforce you being okay. Because like, I just taught him how to tattoo over the past year, and he's been 6 months tattooing now, and the dude's fucking amazing, and he's constantly reminding me. He calls me OG, which is huge, in my brain, because it's like you're calling me the original, like shit, like that carries some weight, right?
That's huge.
Yeah, And it's like, and he means it. It's not just like, you know, something cute and funny. Like, he really looks up to me in that regard. And that's...
that's
to step into that, you know? And so, like, instead of saying, no, I'm not good enough for that accolade, no, I'm not good enough for this love and respect, just take it. And look to the places that it feels maybe a little weird, but, like, it's real. Mm-hmm. You know, and I just had people tell me today, like, how real the experience is in here and how it's like, you know, now they feel comfortable getting tattooed by anyone in my studio because it's a family vibe and like we all really care and support, and it's so weird to hear things like that sometimes. Because, you know, as they're telling me this, I'm like, gotta go. You know? It's like when you ask somebody out, you're like, would you like to go out with me? Okay, bye.
Dude,
you know? Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to hit on that before we end off and go down more rabbit holes and tangents in the audio only version on Anchor FM. Haha.
/ Rad thanks.
/ Rad thanks. Bang bang. Celebrate too early and you always lose.
The pattern be like that.
Yo, the pattern is the pattern.
Pattern is the pattern, man.
Be like
so
that
if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, or comment what you want to see.
Thank you very much. Yes. Yes, I love those comments of what you want to see. It helps us create content that you guys are into, and that helps you. Because like I love when people are like, "Yo, that helped." Because I'm like, hey, guess what? I needed it too. Thanks. So yeah, and if you want to play video games with these guys,
gamertag on I'm on Xbox. Gamertag is Zmabe, ZMABE.
Wow, that name.
I'm on Xbox too, and it's just DuhhJoker, DuhhJoker.
Wait.
DuhhJoker.
Oh, DuhhJoker. I was like,
so like if you
I was like, DuhhJoker, duh? Like, whoa.
That's a mouthful, bro.
Yo, that's what she said. Hey!
Moist.
Dude, we just lost at least 50 subscribers with the moist word. That's such a, I think that should be a video. Moist or no moist? You be the judge. Dude, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate you. And just, you know, just the love and support is brilliant. And just knowing that, like, the things we talk about, like, resonate with real people. Ooh. That's some real shit.
For real, man. It really does.
Thanks,
it really
man.
does. No, thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you both, man.
Yeah. My man, thank you. Ruby Tunes, baby.
Ruby Tunes. Keep it real.
Yes, sir. All right, cool. Thank you, guys. And scoot on over to the Anchor to figure it out. Listen to the rest, yeah. You know what I mean.